In this video, we will take a look at the if keyword in Python, which is a fundamental part of conditional statements. The if keyword allows the execution of specific blocks of code based on whether a condition is true or false. Therefore, our if keyword is generally followed by an expression that returns true or false. This expression could be a logical operator, a comparison operator, or membership, for example. If the expression returns true, then the indented block of code underneath the if statement is executed. However, if the expression returns false, then nothing is executed. Let's head over to PyScripter and check it out. Let's take a look at the if statement in its most simplest form. If 5 is less than 10, so 5 less than 10 is our comparison operator, which we know returns a true or a false. In this case, it is going to be true. Now, when we use an if statement and an expression, we need to finish that line of code with a colon. We then hit enter. We can see that the interpreter has placed the 3 dots, the ellipsis, denoting that it is expecting more code to be added. We're just going to use a print statement. Print 5 is less than 10. We'll hit enter. Now we could continue in this indented block of code, but this is all about the if statement. So when we hit enter, we can see that 5 is less than 10 is printed to the screen. Let's dissect that. We have our if keyword, and we're asking if the expression 5 less than 10 is equal to true. Is 5 less than 10 equal to true? Of course it is. When the if statement is true, it steps into the indented block of code below and executes. And that is why we returned 5 is less than 10. Let's take a look at an example where it is false. Let's simply say if 5 is greater than 10, hit enter, we will print this will not be executed. Now our if statement returns false. So the indented block of code directly underneath the if statement will not be executed. When we hit enter and enter again, nothing was printed to the screen. Let's create a dictionary that contains some populations. We'll call it popdict. Set that to equal our curly braces, and we'll have Ireland, and we'll set the value to 5.05. Togo we'll set to 9.05. Honduras we will set to 10.5. Maldives we will set to 0.5, and Gabon we will set to 2.4. And these are taken from www.worldometers.info. I hit enter. Now let's ask if Togo is in our popdict. So we're using membership here. Our colon. Print Togo has a population of, put a colon there, and then after our ending quotes we'll put a comma. We'll call our popdict variable, and we'll use the key Togo to return the value of the population. And hit enter and enter again, and we can see that our print statement has been executed, indicating that our if statement returned true and Togo is in our dictionary, so we were able to return the population value using popdict and supplying in Togo. Let's run through some more. We can ask if Belize not in our popdict, so we know Belize is not in there. We will print Belize was not found in our dictionary. Hit enter and enter again, and our print statement has been executed because Belize is not in our dictionary, and that is the question that we asked. So this returns true and our print statement was executed. Let's try a comparison. If our population of Ireland is greater than the population of Gabon, we have our colon, hit enter, then print Ireland has a population greater than Gabon. We'll hit enter and enter again, and we can see that our print statement was once again executed, indicating that our if statement returned true. I'm going to hit up on the keyboard and I'm going to switch the greater than to less than. I'll click back on the line with our ellipse and hit enter, and we can see that nothing was executed. This time our if statement returned false because Ireland does not have a population less than Gabon. If Maldives in our population dictionary, which it is, and so now we're using a logical operator, and the population of the Maldives is less than the population of Honduras. Then we use our colon. So Maldives in popdict is true. The population of Maldives is 0.5 and the population of Honduras is 10.5. So our right hand operand also returns true. So we have true on the left and true on the right, meaning that our whole if statement will return true and our second line of code will be executed. We will print the population of Honduras minus the population of the Maldives. Hit enter and we can see we get 10.0 million. And of course our print statement was executed because our if statement returned true. Let's create a list called counties. I want to set this to equal the empty square brackets and hit enter. We have an empty list. Let's call if counties and put in our colon, print counties. We'll hit enter and enter again, and we can see nothing was returned. Our empty list was not printed. This is because empty data types or containers are considered false. If I say if not counties, print counties is empty, and we print the counties variable. Enter and enter, and we can see we are returned our print statement. Because we negated the false, we got true, so our print statement was executed. Let's add some counties to our counties list. We'll call counties.extend and we'll supply in a list containing Kildare and Dublin. Hit enter, and now if we go back and we call our if counties print counties, our counties list is printed. 0 is also considered false. We'll just create my int and set that equal to 0. Now if my int print my int, you can see it is not executed. If we say if not my int print my int, and we can see we get 0 printed because we negated false to be true, so our integer of 0 was printed. Let's check out a nested if statement. I'll go and I'll grab our dictionary and I'll paste and just hit enter so we can see it properly. This time we'll create a variable called popIre for the population of Ireland. I'll set that to equal our popdict Ireland key, which will return the population value. Take a look at popIre. It is equal to 5.05. Let's use an if statement. If Ireland is in our popdict, which we know it is, so that is true, print one step in. Hit enter. Now we'll use another if statement. If popIre is greater than 4.5, our colon, hit enter. We will print our string that contains a tab and we'll say 2 steps in. We'll hit enter, and we'll go with another if statement. If the population of Ireland is greater than the population of the Maldives, which is true, and the population of Ireland is less than the population of, let's go with Togo, which is also true. So this if statement is also true. We will print, and we're going to use 2 tabs this time, and say 3 steps in. I hit enter. When I hit enter once more, our whole block of code is going to be considered for execution. Our first if statement is true, our second if statement is true, and our third if statement is true, which means all 3 of our print statements will be printed to screen. We'll hit enter, and we can see the indentation. In this video, we assessed the if keyword in Python that allows us to create an if statement containing an expression that will evaluate the true or false, and if the if statement returns true, the indented block of code directly under that if statement is executed. Otherwise, if it is false, the code block is not executed.